I wonder what my lady would say. I wonder what my lady would say. I wonder what my lady would say.
Hello, my name is Malerie. You're watching GCTV. I'm here with Michael Nelson. Is that your last name?
That's me.
Who is the president at the Franklin County Agricultural Society. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Can you tell me what the Franklin County Agricultural Society is and what role you play in the organization?
Absolutely. So the Franklin County Agricultural Society is a nonprofit organization. We were established in 1848, so we're just over 177 years old. We're one of the oldest nonprofits in the county. And our mission is to preserve the Franklin County Fairgrounds and to promote agriculture through the annual Franklin County Fair.
What is the importance of the Franklin County Fair to this religion?
So the Franklin County Fair is just shy of 176 years old. We should be 177 years old, like our organization, but we did miss a year in 2020 because of the COVID pandemic. But as one of the largest tourism events in Franklin County, we draw a lot of people, specifically from the Franklin County region, a lot of folks who have been coming for generations, and it's really become a time-honored tradition for folks to come and enjoy their community in Franklin County here at the fair. What
is your favorite part of the fair?
This is a tough one. This is a really tough one because I really want to say the baby animals because I am still a little kid at heart and I love playing with the baby animals. But my really favorite part is the youth hall at the fair. The youth hall is actually where I got my start introduced into the Franklin County Fair. When I was 5 years old, I started entering things that I'd handmade into the youth hall. For those who may not know, the youth hall and the roundhouse are both places where the community can display things that they've either handmade or hand-grown. And so the youth hall is where people under the age of 18 are able to display their items, and the roundhouse is where adults are able to display theirs. And so I really love the youth hall because it really is a way for children to get involved in the fair at a young age and then be part of it for many years to come. Myself, as an example, I started with the fair at age 5 and here I am almost 40 years later.
How did you become the president of the Agricultural Society?
So I've been with the fair as a volunteer for just shy of 20 years. I started volunteering with the fair in 2006. A mutual friend of mine was another volunteer at the fair, and I mentioned to her that I'd love to be part of it and help lend a hand with my expertise. And the rest, as they say, is history. I got involved deeper and deeper levels, volunteering a little bit more, eventually becoming a board member on the board of directors, and then vice president and then president.
Is this your full-time job or do you have other work as well?
This surprises a lot of people when I tell them this. I actually am a volunteer for the Franklin County Fair and the fairgrounds. Despite the tremendous amount of work and the amount of hours that get put into it, this is a volunteer job for myself, plus all my board members. We all do this as a way of contributing to our community and preserving the fairgrounds. In my real life, I actually work for the State Department of Public Health in emergency management, and I've been working there for almost 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It surprises a lot of folks. Everybody thinks the fair is my full-time job, and nope, I do that all for fun when I have free time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How do you balance all of your responsibilities throughout the year?
That's a great question. It is hard. It is very hard to do. Managing the fairgrounds is definitely a full-time job on top of having a full-time job. But fortunately, I have a very accommodating family who understands and appreciates the passion I have for the fair. And when there's things that need to be taken care of with the fairgrounds on nights or weekends, is very amenable to letting me use the time I need to make things happen up there. So very much a work-life balance, but also a lot of family support and commitment to the cause really helps make things happen.
I'm sorry, I'm going to start that over.
Sure.
What skills are most important to lead a historic organization like this one?
A couple different skills. Organization, for sure. There's a lot of moving parts. At any given time, I have several dozen things I'm trying to keep track of or organized, between events that are coming in, events that I've moved out, infrastructure projects we have going on, personnel challenges we may or may not have, planning for the fair. There's a lot of intricate parts. So it really requires a lot of organization and attention to detail to keep things organized.
Can you walk us through the year-round planning process for the Franklin County Fair?
Sure. So we're always planning. As soon as one year's fair is over, we're planning for the next year's fair. And in fact, we're usually planning for 2 fairs at once, believe it or not. So this year, we're obviously planning for the 2025 fair, but we're also looking ahead to the 2026 fair and already starting to get ideas and plans in place for that year's fair. Because a lot of the work we do is cyclical, so a lot of the planning as far as scheduling public safety and shuttle buses and entertainment and rides and all that stuff, a lot of it is the same thing, just year after year. So as we're doing it for one year, we're a lot of times able to do it for the following year too. So we're able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will, and continuously be planning. We're always looking for ways to expand upon the fair and make it bigger and better than it was the year before. As technology advances, as interests change, as social media advances, there's always new opportunities for us to enhance the fair. And so in any given year, as we're planning for the next year's fair, we're also looking at opportunities to continue to improve based on feedback and new trends that are out there.
How far in advance does planning begin for each fair?
So we're already planning for 2026.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So, the 2025 fair is just over 2 months away, which is kind of crazy to say out loud. But as I mentioned, we're already kind of thinking out loud about ideas and plans for the following year's fair, too.
How many volunteers and staff does it take to make the fair possible?
So many. The Franklin County Fair is definitely a community-built event. It takes well over 100, if not closer to 200 volunteers and staff members to make things happen. As I mentioned, the vast majority of everybody is volunteers. We do have 3 part-time folks who help us maintain the fairgrounds, doing mowing and fixing broken pipes and that sort of stuff throughout the year. The majority of our staff is all volunteers, and so we're consistently working with our other volunteers on planning for the fair. So, it's a lot of volunteers. I would say there's anywhere between 20 and 30 who keep the fairgrounds up and running throughout the season, and then well over another 100 plus that come in for the Franklin County Fair to help make that event happen. It's definitely a community effort.
Oh, wow. What are some of the biggest challenges you face in organizing the fair each year?
Going right back to my last comment about volunteers. Volunteers are always a struggle to get. If anybody's at home listening right now and is thinking, I absolutely love the fair, would love to be a part of it, we would love to have you be part of it. Unfortunately, a lot of our longtime dedicated volunteers are starting to get older and not able to do quite as much, or sadly are passing away. And so as we're losing volunteers, we're really struggling to get more younger volunteers to step up and be part of it. So we are very much looking for folks, and would invite anybody from the community who loves the fair to come be part of us.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking this, how can people become volunteers?
Very easy. Say, I want to be a volunteer, and we'll find you something to do.
Oh, okay.
There's really 2 ways to do it. If you go to our website, there's a membership form. So there's really 2 types of volunteers. There's those folks who want to just be part of the fair and volunteer during the fair, whether that be helping to set up quilts in the roundhouse, or helping with volunteer coordination, setting up food vendors, that sort of stuff. Or somebody who wants to take a more long-term step, if you will, and become a volunteer with our society. So that means becoming a member of the Agricultural Society and being part of more of the year-round events. And so If somebody wants, in that case would be a member of the Agricultural Society. So in that case, if somebody wants to be a member, there's a membership form on our website. And otherwise, if somebody's just interested in being a volunteer, you can go on our website, and there's also an email address to sign up to do that. So if you're willing and able, we'd love to have you.
What's changed most about the fair during your time with the organization?
The biggest change with the fair is that we've really brought it to a whole new level aesthetically. Since the post-pandemic years and roughly around 2021, we began some major infrastructure improvements. And in doing those improvements, we've really brought a whole new feeling to the fair with a lot of new energy. People come and really are taken back by how beautiful the fairgrounds has become again. And it's just a really warm and inviting place. And we're really proud of that.
How does the fair support local farmers, arts citizens, and small businesses?
So the fair was established in 1848, as you know, right, as the Franklin County Agricultural Society. And the primary goal of the society was to promote agricultural farming in Franklin County. And so that really meant getting all the local farms and the agricultural producers to come together to show off their cattle, to share best practices, and really embrace the spirit of agricultural farming in Franklin County. And true to its roots, that's still one of our primary goals. We're still an agricultural fair and have continued to promote those goals still 176 years later.
I understand the fairgrounds are used beyond Fair Weekend. What are some of the other events and activities that happen there?
Sure, yes. So right before the pandemic, we started seeing a small influx of new events coming to the fair. We've had a lot of events over the decades. The Good Sam Club, for example, has had RV camping at the fair for over 55 years.
Oh, wow.
So they've been coming for quite a while. We've had a lot of dog shows that have been coming for decades. The Relay for Life, the Cancer Walk, has been going on for almost 30 years, I believe now. So there's been a variety of events, but certainly in the past couple years, we've added some more newer ones, specifically the Green River Fest, which will be entering its 40th year next year, which is a major music festival that was born right here in Greenfield, continues to take place here in Greenfield, now at the fairgrounds. We also have the Soul Fest, which is a Christian music festival coming up in August. And then we have a variety of events such as motorcycle shows, dog shows, goat shows, cow shows, all sorts of shows. If folks want to check out our website, we do have a full calendar of listings so they can see. A lot of the events are open to the public. Most of them actually are open to the public, and many of them are free. So we certainly encourage people to come check them out and be part of the community events here.
How do you ensure that the fairgrounds remain a vibrant community resource throughout the year?
We're really committed to having diverse programming, just as I mentioned a moment ago with all the different types of events we have going on.
Sorry.
We are really excited to get these different types of events, and all the different events cater to different types of people. There's some events that we've had in recent years that we've had identified that really aren't. They're great fun events, but not necessarily the right fit for a smaller community fair in Franklin County. So as we're kind of on this little bit of a learning curve, we found some events that aren't quite right and are expanding into some of the other more community-based events, like Green River Fest type events that are really great and people love.
There have been many upgrades in recent years. What inspired those upgrades and what's next?
Yeah, so we are just shy of $2 million in upgrades in 4 years, which is incredible amount of investment. About 60% of that came through grant funding, through state, federal, and local resources, and a lot of private resources as well. A lot of the grants are referred to as matching grants, so the grant will pay for half the amount, and then the recipient, in our case, the Agricultural Society, will pay the other half. So we've invested collectively with the grant funding almost $2 million between roofing and paving, ADA accessibility, public address system, windows, all sorts of things. And the next big thing that we're really looking at is kind of a couple things. One is we're looking to get some grant funding to preserve the pavement walkways. So the pavement that we put down a few years ago, we obviously live in New England where there's weather and there's some areas that are already cracking. So we're looking to get some crack sealing done to preserve those walkways for much longer time. The grandstand building is in the the end stage of its life. It was built in 1985, and a lot of the structure is starting to rust out. So we're looking for some grant funds to rehabilitate and get that building back up to its ideal condition. So those are our two big projects coming up for the upcoming year. We just finished putting new bleachers at the grandstands. So those are something that people will be able to look forward to this year at the fair when they come.
How do you prioritize accessibility, safety, and preservation when making improvements to the fairgrounds?
All three of those are something that are extremely critical to us. The grandstand bleacher project that I just referred to, that was really, that came out of a necessity for safety. The boards that it was made out of were really hitting a place where we were uncomfortable with their safety on them. And so we were able to get partial grant funding to replace those. Those are now all stainless steel bleachers. The ADA has also been a high priority. We've put in a stair chair in the roundhouse, so folks who haven't been able to get up to the second floor of the roundhouse in decades are now able to get up there. And then the paved walkways that I mentioned, those were really a high priority for us. The walkways previously were some really old beaten up asphalt, as well as a lot of dirt and potholes, and so by now having a fully paved fairgrounds, we have a fully accessible fairgrounds, which is really critical and important to us. Preservation is also a key component. We've done a few preservation projects now. The Roundhouse building underwent a preservation in a few steps over a few years, replacing some old boards, windows and such. And in all cases, whenever we do alterations to buildings like the Roundhouse, our goal is to always replace it with materials that make it look original, because we want the building to look original. The building was built in 1899, so it's 126 years old, and that's really a really special place. So we want to keep it looking the way it always has for generations to come.
How do you engage the next generation agricultural traditions and fair participation?
So we are really passionate about including the youth. As I mentioned earlier, we have the youth hall, so folks can enter products into the youth hall and really show off their handmade and homegrown items. And that really is the pipeline, if you will, to get them into the fair and into exhibiting as an adult. We also have that specifically for all of our agricultural exhibits. So the cattle exhibits, the youth, oxen, sheep, poultry. There are all specific categories just for the youth, so that when they're entering, they're not competing against more advanced and experienced adults who have been doing it for years. They're really competing against their peers and really having that opportunity as a young child to participate in the fair, show off their product, and get hooked for years to come and continue exhibiting through their adulthood.
What would you say to someone who's never attended the Franklin County Fair before?
Put us in your calendar and be there this year. The fair is really a special treasure. It's something that I, of course, hold very deeply and passionately in my heart. And we, as volunteers, are really enthusiastic about bringing to our community. The fair is really a melting pot for our community. Everyone from all aspects of our community is there, from the agricultural folks to the young families, to the older families, to seniors who've been coming for generations. There's a really special place at the fair, and we encourage you to come and find your place.
What are your hopes for the future of the Agricultural Society and the fair itself?
My hope is that I live to see the 200th anniversary of the fair. That's my personal goal. all things said, hopefully I should make it there at my young age still. But as a society, I'm really enthusiastic about continuing it. We've really put a lot of effort into preserving the facility for the generations to come. Our goal over the next several years is to continue to invest funds and really make it the best facility it can be. Once infrastructure starts hitting the level of deferred maintenance, it's really hard to start trying to reverse that course and really get it back on par. So our goal is to not fall behind in maintenance, continue to proactively preserve the facility and keep it in its absolute best shape we can so that generations to come. My son is 5. He absolutely loves the fairgrounds. He knows nothing except the fairgrounds in his life. And I know that he's going to be an integral part of it in his future. And I want it to be the best it can be for his family and all the families to come. So we'll continue to preserve as long as we can in our age, and hope that the younger generation continues to keep it up to pace with us.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
So this year's dates for the fair, September 4th to the 7th, 2025. Our website is www.fcas.com, which stands for Franklin County Agricultural Society. And I encourage folks to go on there, check it out, see what our schedule of events is for this year. And you can buy tickets online in advance at a discounted price. So now's the time. Pick up your tickets and join us at this year's fair.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to come talk about the fair and the fairgrounds. It's really an exciting piece of our community.
No problem. And thanks for watching GCTV. See you next time.